Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman coming to you from a remote, undisclosed location. We're going to go across town, stay in Lansing, though, to the headquarters of Cinnaire. And Mark McDaniel, President and CEO. Mark, it's always good to spend time with you. How you doing?
Doing wonderful. It's been a great summer. We've had nothing but good news this summer for once.
Well, let's share it a little bit. Start off with what Cinnaire does, just for those who have missed prior podcasts.
Cinnaire is a community development finance institution. This will be our 29th year of operations. Started it back in 1993. And our focus is to bring investment dollars and lending dollars to the community development market in the distressed communities. And
yes,
took this Michigan model, and now we're serving 9 states.
I was going to say, I remember when you started out, noble endeavor, but oh my God, what, 1/100th of the size you are now?
Yeah, nobody gave it much hope.
Yeah.
Had all my friends calling me, what are you doing? It's crazy, it won't work. Which, anytime somebody tells me that, I get pretty focused just to prove them wrong.
Gear up a little bit.
Yeah.
And importantly, they're still your friends, by the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Success will do that.
I enjoy telling the stories.
Well, listen, you recently partnered with CPC Mortgage Company and NEF. So tell us a little bit about those two organizations and what that's about.
Yeah, this is a big deal nationally. Community Preservation Corporation, they've been doing affordable housing lending, community development lending since 1974. They started in New York City. They have since expanded, where the areas that they serve. They have a growth strategy to do more agency lending across the country. Agency lending is Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and FHA multifamily lending, both conventional and affordable. And it's a space that we've been trying to grow in for the last 8 years. And, we just weren't getting as fast a growth as I would have liked. And so we're seeking other ideas about how could we grow this business for us and serve our partners better. CPC reached out. They had this idea. They created a subsidiary called CPC Mortgage Company, and they talked to us. They talked with the National Equity Fund, which is the National Equity Fund is a syndicator of the low-income housing tax credits. They had a desire to actually start doing multifamily affordable lending. We've been doing that for a while. So the cultures were similar. We're all nonprofits, and we really hit a home run with this, in the fact that we now have a share of ownership in the CPC Mortgage Company, as does NEF, and the future is really bright. This is the only entity in the whole country that is all nonprofits doing agency lending. So it's quite a story. Surprised a lot of people. So,
it's interesting because I remember when you were pretty contingent upon almost personal donation.
Yeah. It's it's amazing the growth that we've had and the diversity. This is part of our diversification effort that we undertook back in 08-09 with the recession. We knew we had to diversify and not just be kind of a single product. And this is the result of that.
Unbelievable. All right. So CRA reform, it's a big topic in your industry. Tell everybody what that is and how you guys are viewing that.
Sure. Community Reinvestment Act was the act that was passed 30 years ago or so. And it was in reaction to banks not investing or lending where they were headquartered or where they had branches, which is kind of the old redlining thing. So this is that regulation came out basically requiring banks where they had their presence, they had to do lending and investment in those areas. And there's tests to measure, are you doing it or not? And if you're not doing it, if you want to open up new branches or you want to merge, do a merger acquisition, you wouldn't be allowed if you're not meeting the scoring requirements that you go through every 3-year cycle on. That's how we basically got into business using CRA, was getting the banks to invest in the housing tax credits because that qualified as for the investment test.
There you go.
And so now we're in a reform. They've been talking about CRA reform for years. We finally are almost there with some new regulations that are going to make the investment test and the lending test clearer, that CDFIs and the housing tax credit program meet the requirements of that test. They've never said that before. But there's some concerns, there's some rules that they're proposing in there that might impact our business in regards to what qualifies as an investment. And so that's an area that we've submitted letters on and saying, you need to rethink this investment test and the way you've got it structured.
So suffice it to say, they're reforming what you guys have been doing all along, but you're keeping your eye on it. Listen,
Yes.
I did want to say this. I got to be honest with you. I've always thought you were cool, but I didn't know your whole company was cool. You were just named one of the coolest places to work in Michigan for the 9th consecutive year.
Yeah, that is huge for us, and the recognition is great, but the background data that is driven, that comes from that's what we use to continually improve the culture of the work environment here. But this year was huge. We moved from 37th last year to 19th this year. So we've never had that big of a jump before. So we're feeling pretty good that we're getting things right now, especially when you go through the pandemic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things from a cultural staff engagement and that you could really have messed up, and it shows that we're doing the right things.
Well, let me say congratulations and thank you for the work you're doing. Mark McDaniel, President, CEO of Cinnaire, and we want to get you off here before those seats behind you fill up.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
You've been watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman.